All right, Mr. Wired and Ready. I'm guessing I'm Mr. Zer Wired and Ready asked, finding the time to balance crazy work schedule, family, faith, and preparedness, all while making sense of it all. Question mark. I have some thoughts on this, which is why we're having this video. So first, let's look at our hierarchy of needs here. So finding the time to balance crazy work schedule, family, faith, and preparedness, all while making sense of it all. So first, your first priority is faith in all of that. Frankly, in my experience, the Father doesn't give two F's about how busy you are. And when you get too busy for Him, don't be surprised when you don't feel His presence in your life. You fake it with Him, and you reap what you sow. And I can say this wholeheartedly because I've played these games, and they don't go well. The Father doesn't want your half-assed efforts. Period, the end. He wants all of you. Our L is a jealous L. Father Yahweh He is zealous over you. Make time for Him. You make time for Him, things start falling into place. You make time for Him, you get good. You might even get real good. Yah forbid. You might get real good. And if you get real good, and you're real good with the Father, you're going to see some real good changes in your family. And I don't mean real good changes like little Johnny was only hitting singles at baseball, but now he's hitting doubles or triples. I mean like little Johnny understands that you love him. You love him deeply, and that if he ever has an issue, he can come tell you rather than, walking into the woods and putting a revolver in his mouth or something like that. Things get good. Get real good. And if you're good with your Creator and your family's good, then things get good at work. And when things are good at work, you have the budget and the time for preparedness. Now I realize that is probably not the hierarchy that you expected to hear from me, because I'm a prepper or whatever I am. I got a dry mouth, that's for sure. Sorry for the loud noises, people who listen on headphones. When I have a Fox News budget, I will have Fox News production quality, I promise you. Balance all of it. It should be out of balance. It should be skewed so far in the direction of faith that it's not even funny. That your boss thinks you have a drug problem. But you don't. You have a Yah problem, which is to say you don't have any problems. You nail that part, and you realize pretty damn quickly a lot of this other stuff doesn't matter. Or it doesn't matter near as much as you think that it does. All while making sense of it all. Let's talk about a sense of purpose. I've talked to this many a time on this channel, but to paraphrase, you were fearfully and wonderfully created in the image of your Creator. Exodus 15:3. Yahweh is a warrior. Yahweh is His name. And you were sent into this perfect moment in four-dimensional space-time by the best chess player who has ever existed, who can move 7.7 billion pieces on the board without even stressing about it. right here and right now, so that you can take your rightful place on the battlefield to win victories for the kingdom. Making sense of it all, you are likely suffering under the undue burden of sins that you carry around like weights upon your shoulders that are crushing you and slowly killing you from the inside. The lid on your hurt locker is barely staying on, and your gut is ravaged and you can't sleep and you're just tore up. And all of that bullshit isn't yours. You take all of that and you lay it at the foot of the cross and you say, Father Yah, this isn't mine. I'm giving it to you. Please, please forgive me of my sins in the name of Yeshua, and separate me from my sin as far as the east is from the west, because I can't take it anymore. These things are not mine. I'm giving them to you. I don't need to be worried about fill in the blank. And Father, this void that's left from all these things that I've just given you, I ask you to fill it up with your peace and with your strength and with your love. And I will ask you to convict my heart to do your things, Father. Not my things, but to do your things. And lead me and instruct me and guide me and be a lamp unto my feet. Let me wield your authority so that I can take my rightful place here in the battlefield to do the things that you fearfully and wonderfully created me to do, so that I can use my Matthew 25 parable of the talents to win victories for you, Father. And you get that squared away, there's nothing else to make sense of. And your sense of purpose might just be the best damn friend for somebody who's ever existed, or the best dad ever, or man, you should hear this guy play keys on Sunday morning at worship service, or whatever. You get that figured out, the rest of this is easy. Let's talk practical, worldly, crazy work schedule. People are severely unaware of the law of diminishing returns when it comes to labor. I would rather you worked 30 to 40 hours a week than 60 or 70 hours a week. If you look at your income per hour, oh, well, I make overtime. Okay. Whatever. Quality of life. I mean, we're working through the 4-hour work week for a reason, right? If we quantify everything as income per hour, figure out what's the best utilization of your time, and then do that. Crazy work schedule. I've done it. I've played those games. Raise your hand if you've worked 100-hour weeks. There's only 168 hours in a week. There's a little bit less than 10 hours a day to not be at work. 7 days a week. It's miserable. Why? Why? Why do we need this money? Raise your hand if you've made over $250,000 a year and had nothing to show for it. Why? To buy the things that you don't need to impress people you don't like? Stupid. Stupid. And I've done it. And I ain't interested in doing it anymore. Why do you have a crazy work schedule? Maybe you're trying to pay down student loan debt. Maybe you found yourself in a bad position and you got a car that you're underwater on. Maybe you're just a victim of circumstance. Okay? Bust your ass and live like a poor person for however long it takes to get out of debt, and then resolve to never get into debt again. But if you want to understand the phrase, a debtor is a slave to his debt, take a look at your crazy work schedule and ask yourself, why am I doing this? Family.
Hello, is this, I'm supposed to take an assessment test?
Ma'am, do you see what it says on the door?
Oh, I'm sorry.
One door over. I'm gonna hire a bouncer. Yeah, I'm gonna hire a bouncer. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hire a bouncer. There's literally a sign hanging on the door that says in big red letters, "Do not disturb." Twice. Recording in progress. I'm gonna put, you know what, I'm gonna get one of those 12 gauge shotgun tripwire devices. Or like, yeah, we'll just put a blank in there. So somebody pops that door open. Pa! Family. You are the leader of your home, assuming that you are the husband. Be the leader of your home. If you have not been the leader of your home, if you have abdicated that authority, you're gonna get friction when you start taking that authority back. That's okay. Remember, you were fearfully and wonderfully created. Lead. And also understand this. There's a trend towards trying to facilitate everything for our children all the time these days. I think grown-ups grossly overestimate what it is that kids remember. I don't know if it's TBI or just poor long-term memory or what, but I only have a dozen and a half, maybe 2 dozen meaningful memories of my childhood, and the rest of it is just filler. So have quality time with your family. Be intentional with your family, but understand that, not every week is the trip to Disney World. Not every year is the big family vacation. Not, man, and collect experiences, not things, with your family. Give them the gift of memories, not plastic crap underneath a Christmas tree. Do things with them. And I'll tell you frankly and bluntly, there are times where it's exhausting being the man. We were made for this. And it's not our will be done, and it's not our strength that we are to draw from. And so, when you get exhausted being the leader, being the priest of your home, then you talk to the Father and you say, Father, fill me up, because I'm running on empty. I don't have anything left in the tank. And I'm trying to honor the fact that you have given me these people to shepherd and to steward, to protect and to provide for and to bless and to encourage and to educate and to just do life with. But Father, I got nothing left. I need help. Fill me up. And He will. Finding the time for preparedness. This is a lifestyle thing. I don't have to find time to go feed my sheep. It's just a thing we do. I mean, I do have to find time to weed my garden, right? But that comes back to intentionality. It's like, why are we all so busy all the time? And why are we busy doing things we don't want to do? You realize we only get one go at this thing, right? Like, there's no reset button. There's no do-over. There's no mulligan. Not as I understand it. So knowing that, I mean, let me show you something. This is my screensaver on my phone. See that? No, you don't. See that? It says time is precious. Don't waste it. Old man with a cane about out of time, and a young child just full. Okay? That's my reminder. Why are we so busy? Why am I doing this? Including preparedness. But that's just a game of prioritize and execute and make it a lifestyle, not a hobby. If there's things that need to get done and you don't have the time to do them, you're doing too much. Or you're not working hard enough. One or the other. Maybe you need some backup. Well, my spouse just won't get on board. Lead. Finding the time to balance crazy work schedule, family, faith, and preparedness, all while making sense of it. Faith first, brother. The Father doesn't want your half-assed attempts at a relationship. Our God is a jealous God. He wants you and He wants all of you, and He will tear you down brick by brick until He puts you in a position where you have no choice but to scream at the sky for intercession and blessing from the Most High. And then, when you really seek Him here, it gets good. It gets real good. And all these other things just fall in line. Again, I don't know if that's the video that you thought you were gonna get, but it's the video I've got to give, brother. Bless y'all.